All right, guys, is it time to buy these trending graded books? I don't know. We'll ask Zach.
Stay tuned and find out. Maybe.
Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic episode of Comic Data. If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess Aurora House, looking very lovely today, just like usual. Do that princess way. Make sure to bow in respect. And Coco's bowing too. I just saw it. You didn't see it, but I saw it.
It's like the Hawaiian princess.
Hawaiian princess.
All right, guys. So today is Saturday, and we got our new comic book day haul for you. Nice, good, medium week. Not too light, not too heavy. And we have another segment of trending graded comics, and is it time to buy? So we'll get into that when we get into that segment. But before we do any of that, we do have something really important to do because it's nice and sunny out. So what do we do when it's nice and sunny?
We get into the danger zone, and specifically Juice Force beer. We get a beer, a nice cold beer. And something else about this beer that you might not know, unless you watch the show regularly. Somewhere in here is a 0.2, and 0.2 is the best part. Anyways, it's New Belgium. That's what it looks like. And let's get into it.
He says it all the time, even when he drinks a glass of milk. He's like, hey guys, just so you know, there's 0.2 somewhere in this glass of milk.
And 0.2 is a lot of calories.
Was it good?
Yeah, it's pretty
delicious. Juicy?
Juicy and juicy.
Was the juices loose?
The juice is loose.
All right, guys, let's get into it. So, new comic book day this week. We got a nice mixture of a little bit of everything. It's a nice, good DC. We got some Marvel, some indie stuff. So let's kick it off right. Start off here. We got The Amazing Spider-Man #3. This is the variant covers, the scroll variant. I guess I think they were sold out of the regular cover, but this is the new current run that's going on. I think Ramita Jr. is drawing the interior. I don't think he drew that cover, but pretty good so far. Like, a lot of people aren't digging. Like, Tombstone has a nose, and he looks a little bit different. I'm okay with it. I'm kind of like, I brushed it off already, but Tombstone clearly looks way different, and he's pretty much the main bad guy of the story at the moment. So of what's going on. So we'll see how that goes. This is an interesting book. I don't know why we got this, but we'll go with it. This is the Zero War Marvel Fortnite edition. So kind of similar to that DC Batman one that came out, Batman Fortnite, but there is some kind of code in this book that allows you to unlock some secret goodies. I don't really play any Fortnite, but you never know. The Batman one kind of kicked off hot, and then it went in the toilet quick.
Yeah, it did.
Maybe this one will do better. I don't know. I heard there's actually a good story. The Batman Fortnite one was a good story. I don't know.
I bet you it was.
We should have read it. This I'm excited about. So this is Thor #26. Donny Cates' goodness on this, but this is the fourth part of the Banner. Was it Banner of War Part 4? So it's a crossover between the Hulk and Thor books, both being written by Donny Cates. But at the end of the last one, Hulk exploded, and when Iron Man went to go look, Hulk and Thor were mixed together as one person.
Oh wow!
So it was like a Hulk Thor, and it was really cool. And they just kind of ended that way. So this one is obviously going to continue on. So I'm not really sure if Thor turned into Hulk or they're actually, I don't know. We'll see. But it was cool.
They did like a fusion thing, like Dragon Ball Z.
Exactly.
But
what would you call Thor and Hulk together?
Oh, Thor and Hulk together.
What's the one name?
Hulk. No.
Thor?
No. Thor. I was like, wait, that didn't sound right. That did not sound right.
Yeah. But cool book though. I recommend everyone should be reading. This Banner War is really cool. It took Hulk in a really good direction. Next up, DC goodness. We got Batman Killing Time, and this is is it Tom King storyline? This is book #4. I'm digging this storyline. I've not really read that many Batman in the past, but I'm digging this one. You can see the older gentleman there in the back is the Help, I think. He's kind of like a butler that kicks people's asses, and he's cool. Like, he was in the last issue, and he basically just stomps out Batman really quick, and he's all apologetic while he's doing it. He's like, oh, you should have done this better. You could have blocked this attack better, and he's just kicks his butt.
Pretty pathetic,
yeah,
man.
Exactly. It's cool though, and he lets him live. He's like, next time we'll fight next time. It's cool. So we'll see how that goes. Next up, we got DC. This is Dark Crisis limited event series. So I read the preview for this, and they say it's kind of going to be in the same genre as Infinite Crisis, and what's the other ones that they
Final
did?
Crisis.
Final Crisis, Crisis of Infinite Earth.
Yeah.
So it's going to be in that same kind of thing where all the worlds are colliding and stuff hits the fan and just gets everywhere.
That's a mess.
So I figured it'd be a cool read.
Make sure to
we'll see how it goes.
Plastic.
Look at all this DC stuff. Batman Beyond Neo Year. It's kind of like year 1, but for Batman Beyond. Book number 3. It's been good. It's kind of like jumping all over the place with some of the characters, but it's cool. Batman Beyond's a cool character anyway. So, and you can see obviously found that suit that like Bruce left for him or didn't want anyone to use or something like that. That's so much more powerful. That's kind of like the whole deal with that suit. Something.
Do you know where his Batcave is?
Where?
In the Beyond section of Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah,
You'll never find it.
That's a good place to put it. We got some more. This is Venom number 8. This is written by Al Ewing. Like they're mixing back and forth between one, but look at this coolest covers. You got Kang slashing. Looks like Dylan Brock in the Venom costume there, because he got that different outfit.
Oh.
He changed it a little bit, but I don't know. Kane wasn't in the story at all so far, but there's a lot of time traveling stuff going on because now that Eddie's like the King in Black, he can travel through time whenever he wants between the symbiotes, even though he's kind of dead in the story. He blew up, but you know how that goes.
Yeah.
It's never permanent. That's cool. We got Twig number 2, the regular cover and the Scotty Young cover. I don't know if we're going to keep buying multiple covers each time Twig comes out. The first one was good. It was kind of slow to start out with, so I definitely more on the childish side, I guess I'd say, after reading it, but the artwork was really cool. You can see that creature on the cover. They kind of just showed it at the end of the first book, and it was kind of a little more evil than what's been going on in the book so far, so maybe it's going to go down a little more of a darker path.
Okay.
This is something, Zach, maybe we picked this up for you, Zach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was about, but Zach, we saw a preview on someone's YouTube channel, and Zach was like, that sounds cool, and I don't remember what it was about.
I think the dog's evil, but it's good to the owner.
A demon dog? That was something, right? Yeah, but it's called After School.
Yeah, so I think the dog kills her enemies, and then oh, my life's so great, but everybody that's against her is just having horrible endings.
Yeah, I heard it was a good story, so Zach will give you a preview on that one. Yeah. So last but not least, we got Savage Avengers. This is issue number 2, and the variant. This is a sweet variant. You got Jenny Frizen with Cloak and Dagger on there. The first issue kind of kicked off with a bang. There's a lot of freaking characters in it, and I can't remember. Deathlock comes out of the time thing, and he's trying to kill one of the other characters. I can't remember who it was. Oh, Conan tries to kill Conan the Barbarian for being traveling through time, and somehow all those other characters get sucked into it, and they're all kind of fighting Deathlock. So it's kind of where it left off, but it's interesting, all those different people that they got in there, how they mixed all the story together. So that's new comic book day for this week. Let us know if we missed anything. I don't think we're missing anything. Nothing we were really shooting for that we didn't get. I don't know what you guys got, but let us know down in the comments. All right, what are we doing now, Zach?
We're gonna do the time to buy with Zach.
Is it time to buy? So, how this segment works? Princess and myself both looked on some graded trending lists and kind of picked out some stuff that we wanted to get more info on from Zach. Does he think it's a good time to buy these graded comics? Because he's kind of a graded comic expert, I'd say. You got quite a bit of them. Yeah, he's got a lot of them. So if anybody knows a lot about graded comics, it's Zach. So let's see what he thinks. So we picked out 5. We've been doing this segment for a little while. So first up, we got Batman The Killing Joke number 1. This is written by Alan Moore, and it's drawn by Brian Bolin. So this came out in 1988, and it's a one-shot, and pretty expensive for that time, too. It's a $3.50 book when it came out, so that's pretty crazy from the 80s being that expensive. But only real significance in this story is that Joker shoots Barbara Gordon and paralyzes her, which was kind of a significant to what was going on. But the big thing is they basically changed Joker, right? Before that, Joker was kind of goofy, pulling pranks and whatnot. And they made him more serious, more sinister, more diabolical, more evil, I guess. And that's kind of the Joker that we all know and love today, is because they changed it in this story. So the other thing to know is there's 14 printings of this book. So it was so awesome and such a great read, they printed it 14 times. I don't think there's any other stories with it. It's just a one shot, right? Just one book.
One story.
Yeah, just one story. Just to know, the number 1 and the 9th printing are the 2 most expensive. The ninth printing by far, which I think is what color is that one?
Pink.
Is that the pink one?
I believe it's the
yeah,
pink one.
Should be. But what do you think about it more importantly, Zach, from a buying standpoint?
So, Batman Killing Joke, recent couple sales is between $202.50 and $291.67. There's 14 10.0s.
Whoa.
There's
Square bound.
52 9.9s, 48 Universal, 4 of them are Signature Series. There's 4,067 CGC 9.8s, 3,694 of them are Universal, 364 of them are Signature Series, 7 are qualified, and 2 are restored. That's always a herder. I would say this is a book that, if you like it, pick it up. $200 something for a 9.8 of that caliber, not bad deal. But there's no first appearances. The only way you're gonna see massive gains on this book is over time, or if they actually make a movie based on it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
And then immediately it's gonna drop after that, and maybe pick up like 20 years later when people get that nostalgia of it.
It is an iconic cover too. Yeah,
Iconic.
Yeah. It is. It is hard because it doesn't have like any great first appearances in it.
If your favorite character is the Joker, get this book.
You need this. You need it on your wall.
Need it.
All right.
You gotta have it.
All right. Next up, we got number 2 is Alpha Flight. Number 1.
Okay.
From 1983. This is a good year. You got writer and artist on this is John Byrne. There's actually a lot of significant stuff going on in this. I didn't realize this for a long time, but it's first appearance of Puck. And then you have Marina, who is the wife of Namor. You have Tundra. You have cameo of Wild Child. Madison Jeffries, who I'm not even sure who that is. And also Gamma Flight shows up in this book, which is kind of interesting. I didn't know Gamma Flight shows up in Alpha Flight. But there's a lot of a lot more first appearances than I thought about, than originally I thought was in this book. But I think it's a really underrated comic book for being an 80s book, first appearance of the team. And, not first appearance of the team because obviously that's in the XMen book. But what XMen book is that? 120 and 121?
Yes.
There's a first XMen, so that's their first appearance. But this is their first solo title. But I think for the MCU, it's really easy for them to go with this team. If they want to branch off and just do their own thing, they could have a TV show with Alpha Flight. They could have a movie, and it's totally original characters are really, really exciting. Don't forget, there's a Canadian price variant, which that's Princess's graded book, which is a Canadian price variant, which garnishes a little more than double value on that. But what do you know about this one, Zach? What do you think the people should know?
So recent sales of a CGC 9.8 is $325 to $342, so it's a very stable book. There's 2 9.9s. One of them is the Universal, and one of them is a Signature Series. That one must be worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's 1,132 CGC 9.8s. 1,107 are Universal. 24 of them are Signature Series, and one of them is a qualified, which kind of sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple first appearances, $300 bucks. I mean, yellow cover, so it's a nice little popping cover. It's not on my really high books to get, but if I come across a good deal, I'd get it.
Yeah,
the same thing. If you can get the Canadian price variant, even better. If you can find a couple high grade raw ones, like I've said before, there's only 24 Signature Series.
Yeah.
I mean, that already tells you. It's hard to get this book signed, and it probably commands a high value. So that's what I would say. That's what I would recommend.
Cool. All right, trying to throw some curveballs at you. All right. Next up, we have a new book. This is kind of exciting. I'd like to see Zach's thoughts on this. But we have number 3 is Star Wars High Republic number 1. This came out in 2021, so just last year. Written by Kevin Scott and drawn by Phil Noto. So, cool thing about this is the earliest era of Star Wars in canon right now. I think there's some stories that are older that are written, but this is the earliest in canon. But there's a ton of first appearances. So you have first appearance of Keeve Trennis, who is the main character, the younger Jedi who turns from a Padawan to a regular Jedi right in the first book. Her master is Scree, who's the lizard type character. Cool character as well. You have Estella Marv, Avar Chris, who's the other blonde-haired Jedi in there. She's a pretty important character. And then you have a cameo of, oh god, I can't even say that name. Elza Man, I don't know, but
She's a man.
Yeah, there's a couple names that are pretty hard. They could get crazy with this, but I can tell you, I read the entire story. It starts out a little slow because they had Star Wars High Republic and Star Wars the Adventures one, and that the Adventures one actually had a better story because they were going up against the Nihil, or whatever you want to call them. And in this story, they were going up against the Dengar, and after they defeated the Dengar, they switched over and went up against the Nil, and that's when the story got a little bit cooler with this one. So there's this one. I feel like there's so much hype with this book when it came out that everybody and their mom bought one. So it's kind of stayed at that $15 price range raw for a long time. But the other keys, as people dropped off buying it, the other keys in this, there's actually better books in the run that are probably worth more getting, that have really good first appearances because less people were getting it. But Zach can probably give you better information on this.
Oh, can I? I don't know. All right, let's try. So recent sales of $71.66 and $74.99. So pretty low. There's 2,701 CGC 9.8s, 2,635 of them are universal, and 66 of them are signature series. And yeah, not bad. It's a low buy-in for all these multiple appearances. It's another thing that if you happen to come across it and you want to add it to your PC, do it.
And you love Star Wars?
And you love Star Wars, just do it. Don't even think about it, just do it. $70-something.
Yeah, that's not a bad, for pretty decent key.
There's a variant.
9.8.
There is a variant of, I think it might be a 1 in 50, where it shows her like the chick moving around on the cover, and it's like lightsaber kind of like streaks on it.
Oh, okay.
That's probably the best cover. I would try to.
There's a lot of good covers too. Yeah, the Stephanie Han one's pretty good too. Yeah, that one with all white background.
Yeah, that's pretty. Oh yeah, the one that you didn't get because your LCS. Oh, anyways, let's not get into that. All right, next.
All right, next up. Okay, so then we got, these are a couple books Princess picked out here. So we got Uncanny X-Men 244 from 1989. It's a Chris Claremont story and Mark Silvestri cover. You guys should all know this book. It's first appearance of Jubilee, Chinese-American teenager who can shoot fireworks from her fingertips. She became really popular. I don't know if she was really popular right in the beginning with the comics, but she got really popular because of the cartoon in the 90s, because they used her as kind of a main character right after. I think the first episode was all about her joining the X-Men, which was really cool, and she was kind of like a pretty important character in the show, which was pretty exciting. And other than that, I mean, she's been in a couple of the Fox X-Men movies, but very, very small roles. And they actually even like took the Rogue character and switched her in the Jubilee storyline in that first one, right? Wasn't that Jubilee storyline?
Kinda,
like traded her out a little bit and then switched Rogue for it. Like, oh, we'll just put Rogue in there. But I think it's a good book to get, just because if they go a different route with the X-Men, like they've kind of been doing, they should use different characters more prominently, and Jubilee would be a good one to go with for sure.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Zach?
So recent sales of 350 to 440. So all over the place. You can probably find a good deal on this book. There's one CGC 9.9, and there's 1178 CGC 9.8s, 1045 Universal, 132 Signature Series.
Wow. 0
qualified and 1 restored. That's an unfortunate.
There's always one restored.
There's always one restored. I would say get this book in whatever kind of not condition. You want high grade because it's about 80s. Kind of getting close to the 90s. This book was selling for $700, $600.
Oh wow!
Maybe close to $700 not that long ago, and it will go back up to that point once the market gets a little bit better. So you can make a clean getaway with this. I would go for the newsstand if you can afford a signature. Get that one. Like I said, this one's a little bit higher, but it's still only 132 Signature Series. Yeah, get this book. They're gonna add her in. They're gonna make her awesome. They're gonna be like that. Not the antisocial. They're gonna make it like the cool kid, but at the same time kind of different, so everybody kind of relate to the kid.
A school like kind of TV show would be really cool to do with her.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. She's kind of cool, but it's kind of like a loner at the same time, doing her own thing.
I can see
living
that.
her own life. Anyways, yeah, that's what.
Get this book.
Get this book. I get it.
Right on. Okay. And last on the list, Princess picked out this one. We got Paper Girls #1. This is from Image Comics, 2015. You have a Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chiang were the group that did this. Brian K. Vaughan, did Saga. So we own this book. I haven't read it yet. I've heard it's a very, very good story. But as far as I know, it's a group of girls that get mixed up with time travelers and aliens that kind of get stuck in the middle. I've heard it has kind of like a Stranger Things vibe to it. I need to read it. It's pretty good. But they've already said, there's already a TV show that's going to be coming out. I think it's on Amazon. They're going to be doing the TV show, so that's already in the mix. The crazy thing about this book is that when they announced it on Amazon, it went through the roof. Like, it was like super expensive to get this book. It was like, what was it, like $100 for a raw copy or something like that? And as time went on, people, as they do, it kind of drops off people's minds and it just goes right back down. Now it's like $20-$25. And I've heard there's already a preview for the TV show that already came out, and it hasn't gone back up yet. So might not be a bad time to get it. But more importantly, what does Zach feel about it?
So recent sales, $119.99 to $160. So again, a very volatile book. There's 2,478 CGC 9.8.
Wow.
I don't recall seeing any higher grade than that. I don't recall anyways. There's 2,162 Universal, 312 Signature Series, 3 qualified, and 1 restored.
Why? There's always one who's like the same person, like restoring all the books and sending them in.
Oh, there's a color ray right here. Get the highlighter. There's 75,585 estimated print run on this. So it's a little larger. It's a little larger than normal. So there's probably copies out there to get. I would say get this book. I would say for hopefully $120, you're not gambling that much. Because if it was selling for a couple hundred,
yeah,
it's gonna go back up.
I mean, if the show's awesome, it's gonna go crazy, and if the show sucks, then and maybe you like the book anyways.
Yeah.
It's a nice cover, and all the covers after that kind of have a similar look to it with different color backgrounds.
It has a very iconic kind of cover.
Yeah.
Very iconic. You can see it from a distance to recognize it.
Yep, there it is. There's Paper Girls.
There's Paper Girls.
All right, so that's going to wrap up our list for today of Time to Buy with Zach. Hope you guys all enjoyed it, and if you did, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think about any of these trending graded books out there. And, Zach, you got anything else?
You gotta share how you do that is you have to be hunting for something. You gotta be hunting for things that are dangerous and scary. And why would you ever do that? But you also want to map them out. And you get all this great information. Someone tries to steal it from you too, or try to get ahead of you. They knew something that you also knew, and they're trying to get ahead. All right, and eventually you get it, and all that things happens, and either you become the people in Twister or you become Twister Man.
Like the movie Twister?
Yeah.
I
I
love
don't
that
remember
movie,
that.
Twister.
I only watched it like 2 or 3 times. I don't want to watch it again.
No, we're watching it tonight.
No.
Twister. It's Twister night.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Until we see you next time. Stay safe and remember.
Get those gains.
Twister games.
Twister games.
Don't get sucked up in the Twister.
Don't get twisted.